Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of the Shooting Show, and welcome to today's program. Friends, we are indeed very, very pleased to be here with you. You know, this is our 9th year on the air, and it's been a pretty unbelievable odyssey, let me tell you what. But we're so thankful to be here today because, you know what, we represent an endangered product, firearms. You know, if anything ought to be put on the endangered list, it should be these guns, because literally all around us every day right now, you and I know that we're being hammered by the media and by the liberal socialists, or those who would take our guns away. You know, 7,000 times a day, guns are used in defense of life, liberty, or property here in the United States by civilians, not by the police. 7,000 times per day. Well, why don't some of those incidents get on television? Well, I can tell you why. And you know it, but if you don't know it, let me state it for you. The liberal socialists that control the organized media, the large broadcast companies, want to disarm us. So what they're going to do, since we don't have firearms tragedies happen every day, what they do is they take a situation like the Columbine High School and they play it over and over and over again. And it makes the viewing audience and those people out there that don't know much about guns, they see this over, and it's like it's happening over again every day. Just like they did in Los Angeles with the Rodney King tape. They played it over and over and over and literally stirred those folks up into a riot. So that's what the liberal socialists, what the media would like to do. Since they don't have a firearms incident every day, they take one they've got that's very emotional. It shows women screaming, kids crying, men running around there afraid. And what they do is they play it over and over and over. It's a form of brainwashing. Now, that's what it's about, friends. And you and I both know it. And if we get a chance on today's program, we're going to show a picture. We now own a satellite uplink. We own it. This means if we can get this thing running at any time in the near future, this will allow us to do more broadcasting and to get our costs down. And friends, it's a miracle, nothing short of a miracle. We have that we have this uplink. I mean, nothing short of a miracle. We don't, you know, we're running so close on money. We don't have the money this week to pay for this program, but thanks to a large miracle, we have an uplink. So what we got to do, we got to raise the money to get it going. We got to raise the money to get it in place, get it going. And then we're going to start broadcasting more pro-gun programming. Now, friends, this got to be done. And you know, we keep talking about those that need to stand up. One of the ways you can stand up, you can help our project. You know what? If the National Rifle Association took $1 from each of their annual memberships, just $1 per member, you know, they could have a 24-hour TV network on all time. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to do it. And they've, you know, the reasons we've talked about in this program, they got their own reasons. They're too busy running and hiding and responding to things. Well, I say let's don't respond. Let's go on the offensive. Let's start scoring some points for us as gun owners, for us as shooters. That's what this program's about. If you'd like to help us, you can. If you want to help us stay on there, you can by sending whatever you can to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dublin, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. Friends, if you can help us. You know, we have a lot to talk about. These are short programs, just half hour. We started... we gave the introduction last week to our 464, which is our great 460 cartridge, neck down to 40 caliber. And let's start off today's program with one of the experimental loads we have. And we're going to show you some stuff on today's program I think you're really going to find interesting. Well, let's see what 135 grain bullet with a little moly coating on it. We've got another one of those cantaloupes out there, and let's see what it does. Friends, this bullet's running about 1,900 feet per second from my 464. The kit that is for sale through us here at the program Watch the cantaloupe. Oh! 100% biodegradable. But let's do something else. Now friends, of course, our 464 is not meant to take the place of our 460. It's just an addition to it. For those who would want a quite a bit lighter bullet at higher velocities than even our great 460 does. We've got 3 water bottles lined up here. Show you something that could be important if someone wanted to use this new caliber for defense. All right, friends, let's retrieve our bottles. I think it's going to be interesting. Yes, of course, the first one is literally just destroyed. But let's go back to our other 2. Now then, you'll notice that the 3rd bottle here is still full. Now let's look at bottle number 2. You'll notice that we've got a little hole here and the side's blown out. But let's look down in here and see what we got. Here we go. See, this bullet has literally broken up. It did not go through the 2nd bottle. It punched a hole through, and the shock, of course, was tremendous. And there is that broken up bullet in the bottom of this jug. So what this means is, with the 464 and the 135 grain bullet moving so fast, is you don't get a lot of penetration, but you get fantastic shocking power. That's over 1,100 foot-pounds of muzzle energy in an easy-to-shoot combination. And that's what you get, is fantastic shocking power, but without penetration. This could be very useful for those of us who want to use the lighter bullets at high velocity for defense.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. Friends, let's take a moment and tell you about the great Georgia Arms Ammunition Company down in Villa Rica, Georgia. They offer the most reasonably priced lineup of ammunition for your handgun or for your rifle. It's also the most dependable quality lineup that I'm certainly aware of. The finest company in the United States as far as we know. I promise you that. You can get a free catalog by calling 1-800-624-6861. Again, 1-800-624-6861. Georgia Arms is now offering our 460 Rowland kits for the full-size guns and the commanders. What you see here is the 45 DA Colt mentioned here on your screen. You can buy brass for those of you who enjoy the 45 Colt cartridge. Well, you ought to try our DA Colt case. Friends, with Y2K coming up, I would not put it off. I'd try and stockpile a little ammo if I could, but it won't hurt you at all to give them a free call and get a free catalog. They are shipping 460 Rowland ammo daily, but if you have a 9mm, a 38 Special, a 45, a 44 Magnum, a 7mm Remington Magnum, whatever, they have the best ammo at the best prices going. So please, when you call them, tell them you heard it on our show. And I want to remind you, well, you have these great Kramer holsters available through Dennis Crocker. These are specifically made for our 460 Rowland guns, but of course Dennis can get holsters for other guns too. Give them a call down there, area 864-587-8722. Again, 864-587-8722, about these great Kramer holsters available for our 460 Rowland guns and others. And also we want to mention the shooting show will be on satellite E2 Channel 2 on August 28th. So please make a note of that. We'll be on E2 Channel 2 instead of Channel 6, August 28th only.
Now, friends, we're looking at three guns which date from the approximate same time period. This is a Winchester single-shot 22, which dates from the 1920s, bolt action. This is a 96 Mauser, which actually was made, the date on it says in 1924. I think we can get focused in on it. Yeah, 1924. It was the pattern 96 Mauser. And we have one more gun. This is an old Columbia shotgun, which dates from, again, the first part of the century. I'm going to guess the 19-teens or 1920s. Let's briefly talk about some of these old guns. Now, you know, a good friend of ours suggested talking about some of the older guns, how they can certainly be useful and certainly be fun to go out and shoot. But let me tell you what, friends, a lot of us have old guns in the closets, and some of them are serviceable, some of them aren't. This 22, of course, a 22 long rifle is a fairly mild cartridge by most standards, and this was a single shot that we had here on the farm, and we never stopped using it. I mean, we've used it ever since my grandfather got it back in the 1920s. It just never has, it's always been relatively clean, but certainly is still a good and fun gun. This 96 model Mauser, however, I got this gun for $13 at Kmart, back when Kmart was pro-gun, and I suppose as long as they have Rosie O'Donnell, they've turned on us, I guess. But anyway, here to there. I bought this gun for $13 at a blue light special, and the first thing I did is I took it to a gunsmith and got him to look at it. He said, yeah, the barrel's pitted, we had to replace the extractor on it, but the old gun was good. Now this is very important, what I just said about taking it to a gunsmith. We have one more here, and this is an old shotgun that is actually, if the stock wasn't broken, it would still be serviceable, but this dates from a period, again, the early 1900s, when black powder was still pretty common. Here's what you have to look for on these old guns. You have to check the bore to look for pitting, because a lot of people didn't know that you were supposed to clean black powder guns as judiciously as you have to. So the key here is, one, obviously if it has a broken part like this broken stock, don't shoot the gun. Just you might want to hold on to it because it was a family heirloom or for historical reasons, but this gun's not a shooter. It's just one to talk about and talk about where it came from. Now then, on the 96 model Mauser here, it is indeed a shooter, but I didn't take it to a gun shop. I took it to a gunsmith. There is a huge differential there. You can have people working in gun shops that don't know anything about guns, and how many of us know them, but a reputable gunsmith is going to give you an opinion, because realize that these old guns were shot in the beginning when they were new with centerfire primers that were corrosive, and these guns had to be cleaned not as strictly as black powder, but if you didn't clean them, the primer, even though the powder wasn't corrosive, the primer compound was, and some of them will have pitting and may have some barrel damage. So if there's any question, if you get hold of an old gun, well, we can still have gun shows for now, please take it to a gunsmith and let him look at it. And hey friends, if he says, look, just take the old gun home and keep it, put it on the wall, but don't shoot it, please listen to him. And of course, if you get something that is just still a jam-up piece of equipment like this old Winchester 22, well listen, it's still as serviceable as it was when it was new, and still a lot of fun. So old guns can be useful, they can be a lot of fun, but if there's any doubt whatsoever, take it to a gunsmith and let him check it out.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
job, my friend.
Diesel Driving Academy will have you job ready in 4 short weeks. You'll get job placement assistance and be completely trained in only 4 weeks. Call now.
Call 1-800-551-8900. Diesel Driving Academy.
Friends, this is the great SIG double action gun, and I think this is one of the very best semi-automatics, certainly of the other than 1911 type. Let me tell you what, and if you're a police officer, you're looking at a foreign-made semi-automatic, please look at the SIG first. Okay, anyway, we wanted to run some accuracy tests, and this is the double action only gun, but look, let me show you. This is under 2 inches at 25 yards with the 40 caliber barrel in it, and I thought this is excellent performance for any semi-automatic. Now the 357 SIG was about 3 inches or so here, and we shot 2 groups with it, but it wasn't quite as accurate, but it certainly was serviceable. Now you'll notice the 357, here was my point of aim here, so you need to shoot the guns in with both barrels, or whichever barrel you may happen to have, and find out where it's hitting, because these are fixed sights. They're excellent sights, but you can see they hit away from the point of aim. The 40 was the closest on this particular gun, but I thought this was good performance from this little semi-automatic. Now friends, we've had some calls asking how the double action only gun compared to the double action revolver as far as speed goes. And let's just find out. We'll shoot the revolver first. We have our pro timer on here, Computation Electronics, and we'll run 5 as fast as I can run them today, and realize we're talking about similar weight bullets in the 357 Magnum between 1450 and 1500 for the 125 grain jacketed hollow point. The 357 SIG here with a 124 grain bullet, Georgia Arms ammo running about 1400 feet per second. So let's do that now and see how it looks. Let's run a speed test. Start with the revolver. Go ahead and punch our timer. Get in position. Okay, 1.35 seconds. Pretty good group. Go ahead and mark it there. Now then, let's take our 357 SIG. I think we have 5 loaded in it. Check our chamber, yes indeed. So 1.35 seconds for the revolver. Let's see how it looks with the double action only 357 SIG. They should be comparable. Let's see what it does. Okay friends, 1.30, and we have a comparable size group. So essentially, you don't give up any speed. You can shoot it just as fast and accurately as you can a revolver, and I think that's important. Just for fun, since we're here, if you wonder why we're excited about our 464, let's run some of our 464s through our time test here and realize that one 464 has twice the power of a 357 SIG or a 357 Magnum. So let's do that right now, just for fun since we're here. Okay. 1.04 and same size group. So yeah, that's why we're so excited about, because you can shoot these things as fast as can be, but you've got like 1,100 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. So it is pretty exciting on new 464 cartridge. I couldn't let that opportunity pass. And we need to sell these things, friends, to help us stay on the air. Now then, friends, let's take a look at our expanding family of 460 Rowland-based cartridges here. Let's go from here on the left. We have the 460 with a 185 grain defense load. It's running about 1,400 feet per second out of the 1911. We have the Power Plus load, or Sheer Power Plus from Georgia Arms, the 185 grain bullet at 1,550 feet per second. Here we have the load we offer for the Hornady XTP 200 grain bullet at 1,450 feet per second. Here's the 230 grain Hornady XTP at 1,340 feet per second, and the full metal jacket, what we like to call our hog and bear load here. 230 grain load at 1,340 feet per second. The heavier loads are still hand loads, but hopefully before too long we'll have them in manufacture also. Now then, let's go to our 464. We have the 135 grain bullet defense load at 1,800 feet per second. We have the 155 grain Hornady XTP at 1,800 feet per second. Ought to be a tremendous deer load right here. We have the 180 grain Hornady XTP running at 1,650 or so feet per second. And here on the end we have, you'll notice the black bullet. This is the 135 grain Sierra bullet with moly coating on it, and this is what the bullet looks like when it's sprayed. And this is a tremendous new discovery that we've made here. Moly coatings have been out there for some time, but let me tell you what, we have discovered one of the very best. It certainly helps reduce pressure and fouling. This is a really great product. We'll be talking about more. But friends, all our 460 kits are retailing at $275 for the 1911s. We are shipping Commanders. We have the Kimber Compact and Springfield Compact kits now in the pipeline. They're going to retail for $275. The 464 kits are retailing for $299.95 because we also include the loading dies for the 464 kit. So a simple drop-in kit for the 1911 in our 460 Rowland family of cartridges here. Now, friends, I want to give these folks a plug. Normally we think of moly coating as being important for rifle bullets. It is a great product for black powder. Let me tell you what, this stuff is so simple and so easy to use. You just clean your bullets and you spray it on them. Probably on next week's program we're going to have a demonstration on just how to moly coat or use this Miss Moly coating. Let me tell you what, give them a free phone call and get some information. This stuff is relatively inexpensive. It is really a top-notch product. Let's see if we can get their phone number. Now, friends, give Miss Molly a call at 1-800-264-4140. Again, 1-800-264-4140. Get some free information. Trust me, this is worthwhile stuff if you do some shooting.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. And we certainly want to mention Clark Custom Guns, some great friends and some folks that have really helped us through the years. Clark Custom Guns offers the finest custom work on pistols and revolvers you can possibly get anywhere. You can give them a call, area 318-949-9884, and request a catalog, and please tell them you saw it on our show.
Now, friends, let's do a brief demonstration on our new cartridge. We've got a lot of ground to cover, but here's a 40 Smith & Wesson, the 155 grain spear load, which is about as hot a load as the 40s get, actually. Let's see what it does through the chronograph. Okay, go up and check our 1126 feet per second for the 40 caliber, 40 S&W, hot load, 155 grain bullet. And now let's try our 464 with the same bullet, 155 grain bullet, but let's see it through the chronograph. How about 1815? Let's try another one. $1,827, well over 1,100 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. We've loaded the 180 grain bullet in our gun. Let's see what it does through the chronograph. All right, we'll run forward and take a look at it. How about 1707? Actually a little hotter. I think the proper load for this is going to be about 1650. That's pretty hot. Of course, it's warm out here. Let's try another one. Okay, how about, let's see, 1717. My goodness, for a 180 grain bullet. Now then, let's go to our super fast moly coated bullet, 135 grains. Let's see what it does through the chronograph. Whoa, how about 1987? And again, I'm thinking that's going to be a little hot. We're probably going to standardize that load at around 1900. And yes, we have run them past 2000 in testing, but I'm not happy with that load. It shows signs of being too hot. Let's try another one though. 1987 feet per second. My goodness, that's fantastic. I don't think that 2000 feet per second has ever been comfortably reached out of a repeating handgun of this size in anything other than a .22 caliber. Let's try another one. Here we go. Okay, see what it says. 1976, still hot, but that just goes to show the fantastic performance potential of our new 464.
And now for our support group, shooters.cob on the internet. Custom leather work and saddlery, Denham Springs, Louisiana, area 225-667-9225. Camouflage Technologies, they paint gun stocks, area 909-674-6488. Flying Horse Galleries, artwork on the web. BC Armory, East Leroy, Michigan, area 616-729-5508. And Cottrell Refrigeration, Heating and Cooling, area 256-381-1887. We'll see you on the next.